Hey YouTubers. So I figured I'd make this video. I just posted, I'll post a link to my co-creative roundtable and I'm going to post this on YouTube. I realized when I started that co-creative roundtable after a couple weeks, after doing a couple of them, that I really needed to focus on the root cause of why I started it in the first place. And it has to do with heart health, right? The energy and the love that you put out there is what you get in return. And the most difficult part about that is when you can see how people are harming themselves to continue to uh, be supportive in the right way that supports their own growth, right? And doesn't tear them down, right? All of us are trying to be successful in some way, shape, or form. And so, ultimately, what is always going to create the best health is when you don't put any boundaries between you and other people, and you build things together for each other. Um, you just fall into your natural creative energy. When you're trying to sell yourself to each other, you have to put yourself in a state of lack, right? Um, Energetically to project that state of lack in someone else so that they need what you have to offer. Pretty simple. Uh, that will always impact your heart health because you're trying to put somebody else in a state of lack. Why would I want to do that to you? It doesn't make any sense, right? Um, it is what it is. That's the heart health is what, when you look at the whole system, that's what it's going through. Is the heart is healing, but in order for the heart to heal, it has to, for the body to heal, it goes into a fever, and so it flushes out the dead cells. The dead cells are the ones that are in a state of lack, the ones that are trying to cause conflict within the system. And conflict is a state where you're trying to pull energetically off of your environment instead of naturally attracting uh, things that are similar to you. If you're trying to naturally provide for your environment, you'll attract people that are trying to provide for you. Totally different thing, right? I mean, we create darkness, that attractive energy that pulls towards us, but you want to attract things that are mutually supportive and providing for each other instead of attracting things that are trying to sell to each other. If you're attracting that environment, eventually it grows so toxic that those relationships burst and fly apart. It's what I've seen in coaching groups forever now. They try to be mutually supportive because, they're all trying to offer things. But eventually, there's no long-term relationship there because you're not building something together. I've seen so many, and you're not building for communities, right? I mean, there's no community building process. You're not, taking care of the hungry and enabling them to work together to build what they need for each other. If all you're doing is saying, hey, look, I can advise you on what you should do and then take money, you're not helping the poor or the needy, right? Period. How you could donate money to them, but money isn't going to get them anywhere. They need to learn how to create things for themselves. So how are you enabling them and partnering with them to create in their environment? You're not, right? All you're doing is charging for a service, and you have to put somebody else in a state of lack to do that. Our whole society is built on this, right? And then, I understand where it comes from because people feel like they got to provide for themselves. But if altruism is a very real thing. When you get to see where people are harming themselves after a long time, and it's hurtful to me when I see people trying to harm themselves. I mean, I saw a post today, somebody says, my purpose is to help people find their purpose. Is it though? uh, all of us want to help each other and do what we're asked. But is that a purpose? To help people find their purpose? I don't know. It is a supportive job, and there are facilitators out there. But is it my job to help is it my purpose to help someone find their purpose? I don't think so. Only you know your purpose. Now you can ask people a series of questions, but ultimately that's a road of self-discovery. That's not anybody's path but yours. I don't think that anybody can facilitate purpose building. I mean, what's my purpose? My purpose in this life is probably to make a lot of these things brought to the table and make people understand how they're harming their own heart by charging for some. And that's what creates jobs like that where it feels like you just want to help, and so, but you got to make money, right? In this society, you got to find a way to make money. So now your purpose is helping someone else find their purpose. I mean, is that the only way that we can free ourselves from society, by helping each other find each other's purpose? I mean, imagine 100 people charging each other to help each other find each other's purpose. Just totally purposeless. So it's comical and sad at the same time. Either we're creating things for each other, and sometimes your job in this life could be just a supportive role, right? And it's just your job to support and love the people around you. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on this. I would really be curious to see what you guys think about this. I don't hardly ever get comments on my YouTube channel because I dive to very deep subjects in this reality that are very hard to deal with, right? When you think about them at a base level, what are you creating? What are we creating here? We can create whatever we want. And the only thing that's keeping us from creating what we want is to get out of those old master-slave relationships. Because if you're controlled by money, you're not going to be able to create anything. Because somebody else is controlling you. And you're trying to control them through money. That's what creates the differences in potential. Like if I have an idea and I want everybody to work for me for that idea, now I'm creating a master-slave relationship. Totally dysfunctional. Why not just partner with a bunch of people and come to group decisions on what we want to create for the community and each other? That is what creates good heart health. And if we don't start creating good heart health with each other in our communities, then it'll just continue to deteriorate. You'll just become a part of the group of people that their heart is getting worse and worse and worse. I'm going to keep standing up on this platform and talk about this all day long. Nobody's going to stop me, right? Because I care about you. And if it's hard for you to hear, that's just because I care about you. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not trying to say. I've asked, partner with a gazillion people now, and they can't because they're worried about their own income. Oh, I got to sell this service, or else I'm going to die, right? Heart health. It's all heart health. And it's going to get worse. Inflation goes up, get worse and worse and worse. And then eventually it comes to a breaking point. Now it'll reorganize itself to try and pull energetically towards one spot. It's all been forecast, prophesied. It's happened. It's going to happen. Probably happen this year, and then there'll be a split, and you can choose to go one way or the other. One way will heal your heart, heal yourself, force you to have faith, force you to understand more about yourself and other people, and start building a society that everyone wants to live in outside of master-slave relationships, right? Why would you build a government that wants to control you? You can have a divine government, which is the same way your body works. You can structure a civilization to work like a natural organism where everyone is in service to each other, not trying to control one another. Or you can go the other way, and your heart will continue to, until we get to that shift point where reality is going to, we're going right to the 0 point, and the field collapses before we go into the positive pole of the galaxy. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go look at some of my other videos. There's lots of, if you go to suspiciousobservers.com, that guy talks about, the approaching shift all day long. He started to understand a couple years ago that it was an electrical thing, where we're actually going through an electrical discharge because the field collapses. It's exactly like an electrical circuit. It's just state of reality stuff. Happens every 13,000 years. Nothing you can do about it. But as that happens, you have to get your heart and mind right to prepare for it, or else you're going to be in a really, bad way unless you heal your heart. That's the spiritual awakening that we're seeing in society. That's why there's an exodus from corporate, where people are trying to get out of those master-slave relationships and free themselves. Unfortunately, they're being forced to do it in a way where they're selling to each other individually and not working together to build something again. Right? I'm not going to put myself in that situation. I'll sell you a product to help you build together so that I can build together. I mean, that's the only path forward that I can even see happening for me. Unless somebody was just throw a bunch of money at me tomorrow to start building that. I would build structures to help people build together. Leave the old system behind. Right? How else are we going to create healthy relationships and a healthy heart in society? There's going to have to be a path for the healthy heart, and then there's going to be a path for the destructive heart. And the path for the destructive heart is always about worshiping mammon, or worshiping the creation instead of worshiping the creator, which is us. We are the creator, one creator. Until you start seeing everything as one, as long as you see it as separate, you'll start worshiping the creation, and then your heart health will get poorer. Sorry, I'm getting on my throne here and preaching, but what else is there, right? I mean, I would not be caring or loving of you guys if I decided not to, tell you about this stuff, right? It's all been forecast. It's all been prophesied. We're right at the end of an age. It'll happen pretty soon, probably within the next 6-7 years, max. By 2030, 2031, there'll be a shift. Even before then, I don't know. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. And do it, just ask. Do what you're asked. Ask and you shall receive. And do that for the people around you. So, love you guys. Have a great day.